Hello everyone, welcome to this week's episode where we're bringing you part 2 of my interview with Melonie Cannon. I love talking to Melonie because she has such a unique opportunity in their household where she was always way into natural, right? Wanting to try every natural remedy, way into using essential oils, where her husband has been trained as a physician and is always reaching a little more towards the Western side of medicine. And in this episode, it gets real. And I'm so grateful for Melonie to really sharing what's happened in their family when her husband, as a physician, becomes the patient. And I love exploring this when Western meets Eastern medicine, and do essential oils really work? And I'd love to bring these to you to help you see the inside of different families and a different look, because that's what we stand for. We want to uplift families with natural solutions for mind, heart, and body. They're solutions that you can use in your home every day. They're right at your fingertips. They're completely natural, and you don't have to worry about all the toxins or even expensive drugs with their side effects. You kind of had some other experiences that happened with essential oils.
Yes.
And I was a little bit of part of this one. I remember that fear of what was going through. But would you mind sharing a little bit about your experience?
So 3.5 years ago, we were up in the high mountains, and long story short, there was no phone service, and my husband had a stroke. And by the time we got to the hospital over an hour later, they said there's really nothing we can do for him. Like, they have these kind of medicines that they can do to stop the damage, but it had been too long. And when I heard, what do you mean there's nothing you can do? Like, what am I in some weird bad movie? What do you mean?
We're at the hospital now, right?
Right.
Help him.
I didn't understand what that meant. And they're like, the damage has been done. So at that point, my husband couldn't walk. He couldn't talk. He couldn't eat. He had lost the ability to use his hands, like pick up things like that.
I bet you're so scared.
I was scared. I knew that I had to go figure out doTERRA, what to use. Now, I had been to convention the week before.
The doTERRA convention.
The doTERRA convention, yes. And Adaptive had just come out, and some other amazing products. So Immortelle on the base of the neck, peppermint and balance for oxygenating the blood, frankincense under the tongue, and wild orange. Now I was out of wild orange. I would use it all the time in my house. And reached out to Lynn. Lynn brought over wild orange for me. So
anything you needed right then, girl.
Yeah. Diffusing wild orange and frankincense in the room, in his hospital room.
Okay. Frankincense, wild orange diffusing.
Constantly, yeah. That was going on constant. Now this is a critical time period. The first 48 hours are very critical. And then you have, they're in the hospital usually 14 to 16 days going through therapies. And I found all this out, yeah.
You learned.
I learned a lot. And I was able to start him on that night, like starting doTERRA stuff. And did I say frankincense under the tongue? I hope I did as well. That was part of the protocol. And I also did, because I just did extra frankincense. I just put it on his head. I was doing everything I could.
And you don't know which oil to use?
You just
use frankincense.
Yeah, it's the king of all oils, right? And so it will help support whatever other oils are doing their job too. And so they saw improvement. In fact, the hospital staff said, we have never seen someone recover this quickly. Now, I'm not saying that he now he's back to normal. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the therapy's becoming so effective so quickly. When we left there, my husband could walk. Now,
what a blessing.
It was
incredible.
I'll just tear up about it, but yeah. Sorry.
It's okay.
He could talk. Now, could he eat perfectly? No, but he was swallowing. And he was able to pick up things. Could he get in the bag very quickly? No, but he could do it. where he couldn't even pick up when we started. And the amazing thing, I don't know if you know this, Lynn, but the day after I was in the hospital with him, I went out, I was coming home, and I walked out to the elevators, and there was a woman staring at me going, Melonie, Melonie, and I did not recognize her. I was in a complete brain fog. Mm-hmm. She was my best friend from high school.
Oh, wow.
Her father had fallen, and he was in the room next door to Jim. Oh, I said my husband. Mm-hmm. He said he's in the room next door to my husband. And I was able to put oils and bring oils into his room. I brought a diffuser from home and able to bring, she had no idea. I gifted her all these oils, and it helped him too.
This is so much to say about Melonie. She has a giving heart. Her husband's in one hospital room suffering, and she has to help the next door neighbor. But it worked out great.
But it did. But I want to say how it helped me, if we have a moment more.
Yes, please.
Trying to get him, taking him into therapies, doing these things, And this went on. I had to drive him to therapies too. So once we got home, he couldn't drive anywhere. So the point is, I was stressed out of my mind.
Yeah.
Because suddenly I was handling all the things for him and all the things he would help me do. And just our whole life shifted like in one day. And adaptive saved me. I don't know. Maybe that's dramatic. But I don't care, because this is the truth. It was the truth. Because adaptive, I was rolling that thing all over me. I was popping those like candy. Adaptive saved me.
Because we have a lot of things we're dealing with, right? So you had a very physical thing that your husband was dealing with, but you needed emotional support
big time, and I got that support. I felt it. I felt the difference, and it was a brand new product.
Adaptive is specifically designed to help with stress and anxiety, and has many tests done on it about how effective it is, and we don't need a bunch of tests to know how effective it is. We have an experience like that, and you feel the difference. You feel supported in that. I'm so glad that you had that oil at that time.
Me too. So that's definitely Eastern versus Eastern Western right together.
That's right.
And people think they're verses, but they're not.
They fit together.
They can work hand in hand.
That's how I
Absolutely.
feel too. I love that. It's beautiful. Yeah. So was there ever a time that from that experience and some of the others where your husband was like, oh, maybe I need to look into this a little bit more about essential oils?
This is good. We would go to Western medicine first. That was what we used to do. Mm-hmm. And then doTERRA second. After these experiences, he said to me, we do doTERRA first, and then we'll go to Western medicine.
Wow.
So that was a huge
switch. Yeah. Tell me, what is your favorite healthy lifestyle tip of using essential oils in your home?
Lynn, my whole life is surrounded by doTERRA.
Are you saying you can't pick one?
Yeah, I use frankincense, immortelle every day. I use their hair products. I use their body products. I wash dishes with their things. I mean, so health, and I take PB Restore now. I had PB Assist. I mean, and there were vitamins and minerals, and just so good. I just could go on and on. So let me just focus down
to choose one.
Well, I'm actually going to choose heart and mind and body.
Okay, that's great. That's what we stand for.
Okay. So I'm also a natural healer. I use sound and different things on people. So for heart, I definitely think Serenity.
That's exactly where I put Serenity over my heart.
For emotional stuff, over the heart, definitely. That's my big tip. Use it, especially with so much stress going on, and the world has changed so much, and so many people have high levels of anxiety. Serenity really helps.
Okay.
So body, I'm going to go with PB Restore.
Okay.
It's just, I love it. So heart, body, mind. Oh, mind. In tune.
Oh,
So if your listeners don't know Intune, it's a blend that is in a roll-on bottle. And when I need to focus, because I'm a writer, so sometimes I'm like, oh, I get distracted. So I'll put Intune on the base of my neck, or I diffuse peppermint.
Perfect.
When I'm near my desk. So those are things that keep me focused from my mind. Those are my tips.
I know some teachers that have found it very beneficial while the kids are actually taking tests to diffuse peppermint in the air. And I picked that up too. I know that when the kids are struggling and they're focusing on homework at home, and I don't know how to help them with that math. No way am I going to try to do that math. I'm going to start diffusing peppermint. And that has been a huge help for the kids to be able to focus a little bit better.
I think diffusing in your home is really essential for helping your home, just the atmosphere, whatever you need in your home at a certain time, doTERRA can provide it. You need balance, use balance. You need people to be happier, diffuse some wild orange in your home. People are angry, pull out the lavender, and it really helps.
The reason why we've chosen doTERRA is because they're purity, right? Just like Melonie was talking about in the very beginning, when you have the highest quality you possibly can have, that's how you're going to see results. So we don't want to waste our money on something that is full of synthetics or other impurities. Get the product that is the best product, and it's going to work really well with your body, and you're going to see the results.
doTERRA's changed my life. I've been using it as a part of my home and my life for many years now, and it will continue through the future. I cannot be without it. So those are from my heart to your heart.
And from Melonie's home to your home.